हीरो दे रहे हैं फिर
ऑडियो लिंक स्टार्ट हो गया।
देखो मैम वैसे रखे रहेंगे इन्होंने
सिमर सर क्यों कर दे इसमें? We need headphones, laptop now we don't need.
नहीं मैं थोड़ी सेटिंग कर रहे थे।
Hi, Dr. Gantry.
Good morning.
Let me see.
Am I audible? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ?
Hello. Yes, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am? धीरे.
Hello. Hello.
Dr. Randhir, can you hear me?
Yes,
Perfect.
yes, I can.
Yeah, good to see you. Yeah,
Good
we are
morning.
just setting up the things.
Hello.
That's fine. I'll wait patiently. I'll just turn my microphone off and wait until you're ready.
Yeah, thank you so much. We still have time, so maybe you can just switch off the camera and just keep listening to us. And we are just setting up the things. I have my colleagues already online.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure.
Hello. Hello. ਇੱਧਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਰਹੀ
आप लोगों को मीटिंग में मेरी आवाज आ रही है? आ रही है। क्योंकि सर का माइक ऑन है ना, तो आवाज तो वहाँ जाएगी।
Hello, can you hear me? नहीं, I don't think so. मीटिंग में कहाँ आ रही है? आ रही है मीटिंग में? Okay.
हेलो हेलो
बस ठीक है सर, बस हम दिल्ली में सर आप हुए आपने किया कुछ गड़बड़ आपका क्यों आ रही है आवाज मीटिंग में आपने बिल्कुल साइलेंट रहना है सिर्फ मैं सेक्रेटरी बोला ना नहीं ना नहीं बाहर की प्रॉब्लम नहीं है दैट्स नॉट अबाउट यहाँ बैठे हैं मीटिंग में क्यों आ रही है आवाज
हेलो
Ma'am, can you hear me? Good morning everyone. मैं थोड़ा loud होंगी मैम उस टाइम इस तो ज़्यादा. अच्छा okay. Good morning, everyone. I, Indrapreet Kaur, extend a warm welcome to all of you on the behalf of Chandigarh Business School of Administration under the flagship of CGC Landran to this international conference on Start Computing Technologies and Business Management Strategies 2022, which is being organized in collaboration with Perdana University, Malaysia, which has offered and extended their wholehearted participation for 2 days conference and in future also.
Good morning, Dr. Ram.
Good morning, Dr. Sani. How are you?
I'm good, sir. Good morning. Very good to see you. Well on time. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are just settling out the thing. So we'll start at 10 because we haven't started the broadcasting yet. So once we'll start at 10, then students will join. And I think by 10:05 or 10:10 max to max, we'll start.
Okay, no problem.
We already have one speaker, Dr. Randhir, with us. She's from UK. Randhir, can you hear me?
I can,
Yeah.
thank
Okay,
you.
great. So just to introduce, we have Dr. Ramabhadran from Indian School of Business with us already.
Right. Good morning.
Good morning, Doctor.
Thank you.
And we have already given you rights, sir. So you'll be able to share your PPT once we invite you to speak.
Perfect. Thank you
All
so
right. So we can be on muted mode by the time we settle down. Thank you.
And would you like me to email you my PowerPoint, or shall I just share it at the right time?
You can share it, Randhir, because most likely
Fine.
there will not be any issues.
Fine.
Yeah,
Perfect.
we
Thank
have
you.
already given the rights to all the speakers.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hi, Professor Zalina. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, welcome to the conference. We are just waiting for the audience to join in, and we'll start in next 5 to 6 minutes. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Am I audible and visible?
Yeah, good morning, sir. Yes, we can hear you. We are just waiting for the students to join and the participants. Another 2-3 minutes, we'll start.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Rohit.
Good morning.
Yeah,
Thank you, Ramandeep.
yeah. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All good, all good. We already have almost all the speakers with us. So we'll be joining in another 2-3 minutes. Just one speaker is left to join.
No worries. No
Yeah,
worries.
so you can be here. Thank you for joining.
No worries. You're welcome. Thank you.
I request all the speakers to switch on their cameras. We are going to start.
Good morning, everyone. I, Indrapreet Kaur, extend a warm welcome to all of you on the behalf of Chandigarh Business School of Administration under the flagship of CGC Landran to this international conference on Smart Computing Technologies and Business Management Strategies 2022, which is being organized in collaboration with Perdana University, Malaysia, which has offered and extended their wholehearted participation for today's conference and in future also. I thank God Almighty for being kind enough to bless me with this opportunity to be a part of such a great event where I would come across many distinguished personalities comprising a long list of celebrated authors and intellectuals. Here, I would like to thank our worthy management, Sardar Satnam Singh Sandhu, Chairman CGC and Chancellor of Chandigarh University, Gurua, President Sardar Rashpal Singh Dhaliwal, which could not be present here due to their busy schedule, but have sent their best wishes to all the participants in the conference. I also welcome our worthy campus director, Dr. P.N. Rishikesha, Director Principal CBSA, Dr. Ramandeep Saini, our chief guest and keynote speaker, Ms. Jalina Abdul Rahman, Registrar, Perdana University, Malaysia. Guests of honor for this conference include Dr. Ramabhadran Thirumalai, Associate Professor, Deputy Dean of Programs, Indian School of Business, India, Mr. Rohit Dhand, Assistant Director, Ernst & Young LLP, Canada, Dr. Subhi Bhatia, Associate Professor, Department of Information Systems, King Faisal University, Saudi Arabia. I also warmly welcome to all the delegates, participants across the country and abroad. It will be great to hear from our keynote speaker and guests of honor about the influence, priorities, development, and comparison to international standards in the same field. Once again, a very warm welcome to all of you present here. Since its inception, Chandigarh Group of Colleges Landra marked an era of excellence and supremacy fueled by a commitment of serving the humanity with due diligence, commitment, and utmost dedication. CGC is among the top private self-funded institutes of the country, offering quality education, research, and placement state-of-art facilities. Currently, the college offers 40 plus programs under 7 different domains, namely engineering, biotechnology, computer applications, management, education, pharmacy, and hotel management. With the provision of remarkable infrastructure, ultra-modern laboratories, accompanied by practical strategies, the college has managed to reform the ways of modern education, truly upholding the ethos, providing excellence in the field of education, and always striking a chord with the students' expectations. Chandigarh's Business School of Administration, Landra, has time and again proven as one of the leading higher education providing institutes of the nation. Carrying on the resplendent year's legacy, it has dynamically progressed in each and every aspect of nurturing students' experience by achieving top ranks year after year. Chandigarh Business School of Administration has gained considerable recognition in the area of business education, computer education, training, and research. Chandigarh Business School of Administration conducts full-time regular programs which include MBA, MCA, MCOM, BCom, BCA, BBA, and BSc in data analytics. I'm happy to share that ISC established at CBSA has got highest 5-star and 4-star rating for 2020 and 2021 respectively. CBSA has also been placed in the top ARIIA ranking 2021 by the Ministry of Education. This international conference on smart computing technologies and business management strategies 2022 is the annual conference organized by CBSA and is an international forum for researchers, academicians, as well as industry professionals from all over the world to share and publicize their research work and development activities under various research areas. This conference provides opportunity for our faculty members and college students to interact with the external researchers and delegates to exchange new ideas and application experiences. Moreover, it also helps the Institute to find global partners for establishing educational and research relations for future collaborations. I feel overwhelmed to share the fact that we have received more than 140 papers. So this conference has 6 different tracks I'm just going to give you a brief introduction about these tracks. Track 1 covers the new trends in innovative inventions in ICT. Track 2 covers artificial intelligence and its subfields. Track 3 will have trends related to IoT, that is Internet of Things. Track 4 covers advances in communication systems and network security. Track 5 will cater to various functions of management areas like marketing, HR, finance, and operations management. And the last, track 6, will have recent advances in sustainable practices, social innovations, and entrepreneurship. I'm sure that the conference ICCTBM 2022 will be an excellent platform together and propagate the latest knowledge in the field of applications and business management. I feel obliged to introduce you all to the glorious history of Perdana University, Malaysia, established in 2011 as a public-private partnership project under the auspices of Public-Private Partnership Unit in the Prime Minister's Department of Malaysia. With focus on providing quality education in medicine and health sciences, Perdana University Malaysia has made significant strides and innovative transformations in the field of education research and services. They offer programs such as medicine, occupational therapy, bioinformatics, data sciences, psychology, and business at all the levels, right from the foundation to the PhD level. Perdana University Malaysia aims to be one of the premier organizations in the world today, contributing to the global community through their pursuit of excellence. Not taking much of your precious time, now I would like to call our very enthusiastic, extremely talented, and always sporting captain of our CBSA team, our Honorable Director Principal of Chandigarh Business School of Administration, Dr. Ramandeep Seni, for welcoming our guest. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Inderpreet. I hope I'm audible. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Campus Director, CGC, Dr. P.N. Rishikesha, our keynote speaker from Perdana University, Mr. Zalina, guest of honors, Professor Ramabhadran, Mr. Rohit, Dr. Randir Olak, Dr. Surbi, and Professor Siebing, who will be joining us tomorrow. I welcome all the participants, faculty members, guests, and researchers, scholars who have joined us today. Welcome once again on behalf of entire team. Such a pleasure it is to be here in this virtual August gathering. All the guest speakers who are present here, thank you very much, because I know you have been very busy, but you accepted our invitation and you have given your consent to be here. Your presence means a lot, especially the ones who have joined from outside India, in spite of major time zone differences. So believe you me, we are really thankful for your presence and we appreciate. Your presence today is going to add a lot of value to the conference, and we are all looking forward, to listen it from you. So dear friends, this year the theme of the conference is, as already mentioned by Inderpreet, is smart computing technologies and the business strategies. And we are going to, we are organizing this in collaboration with Perdana University, Malaysia. It was wonderful to work with the entire team at Perdana, and I'm very happy that we were able to organize 2 roundtable discussions also as pre-conference events on the themes of data handling, tags, sensors, and significance of entrepreneurial education. I'm very happy that we got a tremendous response to our conference in spite of the challenges thrown at us by the COVID, which still were able to receive 140 plus research papers, and some of them are being considered for publications in reputed journals as well, from India as well as abroad. Few tracks will begin today after the ceremony, and remaining will happen tomorrow, and we'll close the conference with a valedictory ceremony tomorrow in the second half. So the tracks, as mentioned earlier, are based on the themes of innovations in ICT, AI, ML, trends in IoT, communication systems, business strategies, etc. And I'm very glad that we have been able to organize this platform in the form of conference this year also, in spite of physical restrictions. A very generalized theme has been deliberately picked up this time so that we are able to invite diverse research touching upon the interface of computer technologies as well as business management strategies. I'm not a techie myself, but just to make the opening remarks, smart computing, as it is also called as the next generation computing. So it's a combination of hardware, software, and network, and just to provide a real-time awareness of real-time systems. So we all are in an era where information and communication technologies, they're being used like never before. And they're being used to create smart systems to make our life, day-to-day life, better. So just look at the speed of technological advancement. I think it's mind-boggling. So our whole life has become smart because of these smart technologies. So we have smart toothbrushes, we have smart bikes. I was reading somewhere they are using robo-birds at airports, to chase away the real birds, and life-saving drones, smart cities coming up. I think the list is endless. So I'm sure these 2 days we are going to experience and listen to the research touching upon all these latest technologies. Amazing work is being done at backend to produce these inventions. So smart computing and big data, these are the buzzwords. So, these smart technologies are creating a big time impact on businesses also, because businesses cannot run in isolation. We all know that. And these smart computer technologies, they're helping the businesses to just increase their sales manifold. But then the ones who are not able to cope up with this enormous speed of change, those businesses are really finding it very difficult to survive. The entire business processes are undergoing changes, and there's continuously evolution going on, whether it is preparing financial statements, recruitment processes, your inventory tracking, managing production lines. You name a process, I think we cannot escape from this technological advancement. So I personally feel that the vision given by Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi in 2015 about digital India also has been a great trigger and a big motivation for not only for digital transformation, but also for the advancements in smart computer technologies as well. So organizations, of course, they have no other option, but they have to redesign their business strategies to survive in the market. Cloud computing, AI, big data, mobile interfaces, I think taking them all together, they just lead to smart computing. So friends, smart computing at present, I feel, is a big, big disruptor. But if we are able to meet the challenges of data security and maintainability, I think it can prove to be an enabler. It is already proving to be an enabler. So I'll not take much time. I'll once again thank you everyone whosoever has joined today, this morning to make this conference happen and attend this inauguration ceremony. I'll stop with these words and leave it for the honorable speakers to shed more light on these themes. My good wishes to all the participants, and I sincerely hope that you have a great learning experience in the next 2 days. Kudos to the entire organizing team from Department of Computer Applications for putting up this event. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable words and influential message. With a good captain, even a rough ocean turns into a calm sea. CGC has a legacy to have renowned academicians as the pillars of success, under whose able guidance we have set a benchmark in every field. So without further delay, I would like to call our worthy campus director, Dr. P.N. Rishikesha, so as to get an opportunity for all of us to listen to such a great visionary. Yes, over to sir. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, one and all. Honorable management, chief guest of today's event, Ms. Zelina, guest of honors, Dr. Ramabhadran, Mr. Rohit, Dr. Randhir, Dr. Surbhi, Director Principal of Business School, Dr. Ramandeep, and even the HOD of Computer Applications, Dr. Bragg, and all committee members, and my dear participants. It is indeed the fruitful day for CGC as well as the participants to be a part of this great event, which is the International Conference on Smart Computing Technology as well as the business management strategies. Before I speak few words about the conference as well as the theme, I would like to welcome the chief guest as well as the guest of honors as well as the participants, all the participants for this great event, which is going to be very much fruitful for each and every one over here. The thing, smart computing as well as the business. Where is the link between these two? Nowadays, it is interdisciplinary as well as the multidisciplinary. A simple automobile is not acceptable nowadays. Earlier, it used to be, whether it is Fiat or Ambassador, whatever it may be, the automobile, the society used to accept those things because they didn't have any option. Nowadays, the integration, interdisciplinary, okay, all those things, application-oriented things have come up into the market, wherein user has got multiple choice. Unless otherwise, your business is multidisciplinary, application-oriented, okay, your business is not going to be successful one. So, business school, who are going to create the future for the students, even to become the entrepreneurs, okay, they are going to guide them, okay, in the multidisciplinary as well as the interdisciplinary issues. So students as well as the faculty members, they cannot say, I am from business school, I don't know anything about the technology. No, the society demands, the market demands, now the situation demands. Okay, so purposefully, okay, we have kept this theme. Okay, not only to attract more papers, but which is going to be beneficial for more people in the society. The smart technology or smart computing is a small word which is used, but which is going to have a huge impact in the society. Smart means nowadays the user, they are not that much satisfied with the hard work or the core areas, whether it is mobile, whether it is any application, whether it is any equipment for that matter. If it is bare minimum facilities, okay, with the bare minimum facilities, the product is not going to be acceptable by the society or the user. If you want to make it acceptable, if you want to make it more user-friendly, then go with the smart application-oriented technology. Unless otherwise you implement, integrate the smart technology into your business or into your product, okay, that's not going to be with the success product in the market. So I can give multiple examples. The automobile, suppose it is fitted with multiple sensors, multiple features, okay, which is going to have multiple functions, okay, with the core functions intact with the automobile, that product is going to be easily acceptable by the user. Okay, this smart technology that is going to address the safety, that is going to address even the luxury, okay, of the product. So when we speak about smart computing integrated with the business management, it becomes a complete package. So my dear participant, this theme, okay, this is really a hot topic in the research area. So you will be definitely benefited by the resource persons who are going to guide you, give you the information, latest information about these technologies as well as the business areas, wherein you can think of the startups as well as the becoming entrepreneurs in these areas. Okay, CGC believes in the quality. Okay, so though we might have received more than double the publications, okay, we have restricted the publications to the limited number only, okay, to maintain the quality of publications as well as so few of the things it goes to the journals also. So we are totally transparent with the papers or with the publications, whether it is the publication from the CGC Landran faculty or it is from outside, okay, the judgment would be fair enough so that the participant can be rest assured with the judgment of the papers, whether it goes to the journal or it is going to be published in the conference. My dear participants, we are really thankful to all the resource persons for taking out their time, okay, and to participate in this 2 days event, okay, as well as for giving us the latest information about these areas, okay, so that all the participants over here, they are going to be benefited. Okay, with these few words, okay, I congratulate the whole team of CBSA for organizing such a informative, beneficial, as well as the great event, okay, which is going to be the beneficial for the society. Okay, I wish them all the very best. Okay, thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words of wisdom and providing the detailed insight. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a true leader. Yes, we feel privileged and grateful to have that eminent person as our chief guest today. I wish to take this opportunity to welcome our distinguished honorable chief guest, Ms. Zalina Abdul Rahman, Registrar, Perdana University, Malaysia. A heartfelt thanks to you, ma'am, for joining us. Ms. Zalina has 15 years of working experience with corporate companies, namely Calcom, Axiata Berhad, Telecom Malaysia Berhad, and TMNet Sendrian Berhad. She specializes in information technology, telecommunications, corporate strategy, corporate communications, and project management. Her previous employment with Malaya University for 10 years has shaped her in the education industry, where she headed the International Students Office, Career and Internship Services, and Industry Relations for the university. Ms. Zalina holds a Bachelor in Computer Science from the University of Strathclyde, Glasgow, Scotland, and obtained her Masters of Business Administration from the Anglia Ruskin University, London, UK. Now, I would like to call upon Ms. Zalina to address the audience in attendance. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. All right. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all. Sat Sri Akal. Thank you for joining us on this auspicious occasion, virtually from wherever you might be, to catch up with the latest computing and management technology and studies in today's session of Smart Computing Technologies and Business Management Strategies, jointly organized by Chandrika Business School of Administration of India and collaboration with the Perdana University. Through the various conference tracks that had been prepared, we will share with you, our audiences, the awareness of the communicable and non-communicable management system. On a more specific note, the topics of the 6th conference tracks are new trends in innovative inventions in ICT, advances in AI and machine learning, recent emerging trends in the Internet of Things, IoT, advances in communication system and network security, recent development and the domains of marketing, HR, finance, recent advances in sustainable practices, social innovation and entrepreneurships. It is indeed an honor for me, representing Perdana University, to congratulate all the academia, students, researchers and scholar, partners, friends and colleagues who are here with us today to share their ideas, experiences, and results prior to their specific discipline. I would like to emphasize that this whole event is the reflection of the intellectual effort from various fields to fit into the 6 branches. I believe conferences, seminar, and intellectual discussions such as this conference are important and able to assist the education industry in planning and executing effective future programs with the new technology and strategy in computing and business management. It is our hope at the end of the conference, you will gain new knowledge and shed some light in your preparation for the world trend towards digitalization and advanced computing in domains such as marketing, human resource, finance, and business management. Indeed, Chandigarh Business School of Administration and Perdana University are looking forward to hearing new ideas and suggestions from everyone attending this conference. Chandigarh Business School of Administration has been delivering excellence in education, and its graduates have made significant contribution to the development of society within India and beyond. And Perdana University, established as a public-private partnership, has made significant strides and innovative transformation in education, research, and service since its inception, with programs such as medicine, data science, business, to name a few, at all levels. The 2 days online international conference will be an excellent platform to share research ideas, and the participant will benefit greatly from the experts from both academia and industry. I wish all presenters the best of luck with your presentation and future publication. Your contribution will be invaluable in developing solutions for the many challenges that we are facing. I would like to congratulate Chandigarh Business School of Administration, Perdana University, and all the organizers for the tremendous effort in putting together this conference. Thank you. Shukriya.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable words. Now we move forward to our guest of honor. Professor Ramabhadran Thirumalai is an Associate Professor of Finance and Deputy Dean of Programs at Indian School of Business. He holds a PhD in Finance from Indiana University, Masters in Statistics from the University of South Carolina, and a bachelor's degree in Chemical Engineering from BITS Plani. He has been with ISB for over 15 years. His research interests include the trading behavior of various types of market participants. He teaches courses on derivatives, security markets, and fixed income securities in PGP, as well as introductory finance courses in several programs at the ISB. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Ramabhadran to address the audience in attendance. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Inderpreet. Thank you for that introduction. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Hope you're all doing fine and staying safe. This is kind of a little challenging talk for me. I was trying to figure out what to talk that is related to smart computing technologies and business management strategies. And I kind of dipped into what I typically do, kind of research, not directly related to what I do, but a lot of my research is focused more on security markets itself, understanding various frictions and challenges and regulatory issues with security markets, as well as what is the impact of all of that and what is called price efficiency, right? So I just thought it'll be good to kind of talk about what smart technology has done to the world of trading in the last, I would say, almost 15 to 20 years. I think there's a lot of things happening in this world. And maybe some of you are aware of it, but I thought this is kind of an interesting topic given the theme for the conference. Right, so a brief introduction is basically the technology, if you're not aware, drives a large part of daily trading volumes across the world, all over the world today, across all types of markets. It can be bond markets, it can be stock markets, it can be derivative markets, it can be cryptocurrency markets, right? So technology is driving just the volumes in these markets a lot these days. Right, so with constant improvement of technology, right, we keep seeing upgradation of RAMs and processor speeds and cloud computing, and even the cost of computers, right? It's now so cheap to buy computers compared to maybe even 20-25 years back. Right, with all of this improvements in technology and dropping costs, it has become very easy for people to use, and also cheaper for people to use technology to make trading decisions, right? Nowadays, we don't have humans making trading decisions. That is, when do I buy? How much do I buy? What prices do I buy at, right? None of those decisions are made by humans. It's all driven by computers and technology, right? And these use of technology in the world of trading has given rise to buzzwords like co-located servers, algorithmic trading, and high frequency trading, right? And I'm going to talk a little bit about these buzzwords on the next few slides. In fact, if you look at the last decade or two, high frequency trading had peaked at almost like 60% of the volume in equity markets in the US. and at about 40% in Europe. It's dropped a little bit from those highs, but it still forms a substantial part of the trading volume in markets, and it's pretty large still in the futures markets, which is one type of a derivative globally, right? So this is what the impact of technology has been on the markets. So what I'm going to talk a little bit about is, has technology, right? Introduction of all this technology, has it been good for markets and in trading and for trading, right? That is kind of what I'm going to briefly spend some time talking about, specifically looking at how whether these things are improving markets or worsening markets in any way. Right, so let me define some of these buzzwords, right? Not everybody may be aware of it. So I just thought I'd take a few minutes, couple of minutes to quickly define some of these buzzwords. So what does algorithmic trading mean? There's a paper in the Journal of Finance about a decade ago by Hendershot, Jones and Menkwell. They say algorithmic trading is the use of computer algorithms to automatically make certain trading decisions, submit orders, and manage those orders after submission. Yeah, the whole idea is, if in the olden days, right, before computers, maybe 20, 30 years back, if I wanted to trade, I had to look up prices on some trading screen, or right, and then decide, okay, should I be buying, selling, do my analysis, and then take a call my broker, pick up the phone, call the broker, and then the broker is going to use their systems to punch in the order, right? There used to be floor trading. So brokers used to call their traders who are standing on the floor of the exchange, send in the orders, and then you may have seen this in some movies, people standing in the trading floor shouting, I want to buy, sell this price, that stock, right? So that is what it was 20, 30 years back. Now it's all quiet. Security markets are very quiet. Everything is run automatically. The exchange itself, most exchanges, all the big exchanges in the world don't have a trading floor. They all just run completely by computer systems. And then traders also deciding when to buy, how to buy, what to buy, sell, right? Should I be selling lot? Should I be selling little, right? Size of orders. And then also trying to manage the orders, right? Once you send an order, you need to manage, see what is happening to that order, right? All of that is now managed completely by algorithms. Right, so that is the whole idea of algorithmic trading. The entire decision making, the trading decision, the submission of the order, and the managing of the order after submission is completely done by computers. There's almost no human intervention. The only human intervention in trading is people who write these algorithms, right? That's the only extent of human intervention that we have in the trading world. Also with improving technologies, right? Exchanges all over the world, right? All your big exchanges realize that they have an additional new source of revenue, namely what is called co-located servers. Co-located servers, in a way to understand it, is you have the exchanges servers these days, right? They're managing the entire trading activity. So what exchanges decided was, oh, we'll open up this additional space and lease it out to traders, and the traders can then position their servers with their algorithms sitting maybe 15, 20, 30 feet away from the exchanges servers, right? So they're now basically, in a sense, getting into, loosely speaking, the real estate business, right? They're leasing out space to other traders. They can place their servers with their algorithms right next to the exchanges servers. And what this does is reduces what is called latency. And what is latency? Latency is basically the time that elapses between when an order is sent from the trader and when it is received by the exchange, right? And now if you have a computer that's just sitting right across the room, the latency is hugely reduced. And now the competition amongst all these exchanges all over the world is based on this latency, right? We have what is called low latency, where we are talking about latency in milliseconds. And then we have ultra low latency, where we are talking about latency in the form of at the microsecond level. If you look at what the BSE today, the BSE claims that their latency is 6 microseconds, right? So that is the amount of time it takes in order to go from a trader's computer to the exchange's servers, right? So that is what exchanges are competing on. They want to provide as low latency as possible to traders, and that has all been possible because we have now fiber optic cables, we have microwaves, and I'll briefly talk about how microwaves are being used in not microwave ovens, but just microwaves, right? To trade. Then these co-located servers, what is the implication of having co-located servers? Now that the trader servers are sitting right next to the exchanges servers, this is given rise to what is called high frequency trading, right? So there is a really huge speed advantage when your servers are sitting 15, 20 feet away from the exchanges servers. So how do you define this high frequency trading? The US Securities and Exchanges Commission has a release that notes that it is typically used to refer to professional traders acting in a proprietary capacity. That is, these traders are trading with their own money, right? So this is basically brokers who are trading on their own behalf. They're not trading for somebody else, or they're not trading for a client. They're trading using their own money to trade for themselves. So that is what you mean by proprietary. That engage in strategies that generate a huge number of trades on a daily basis, right? So these high frequency traders just generate a large number of orders as well as trades, right? So that is what they do, and a lot of times they send in orders which may not even get executed or converted to trades. They may place orders and then they may modify it, they may cancel it. So there is what is called the order to trade ratio. How many orders are you placing for every trade that's executed? For these high frequency traders, this order to trade ratio tends to be very high. They have very few executions. They place a lot of orders and they modify a lot of orders. So of course, the question is, what is the difference between high frequency trading and algorithmic trading? In a nutshell, all high frequency trading is algorithmic trading, but not necessarily all algorithmic trading is high frequency trading, right? So the common part is both use automatic computer generated technologies to make the decisions on trading. The difference typically tends to be that for algorithmic trading, the number of or the amount of time that they hold their share position could be hours, days, or even longer, months or even years. Whereas when you're talking about high frequency traders, they hold their positions and shares for a very, very short time, right? Almost never longer than a day, and typically they're going to be holding it only for a few seconds, or in some cases even just for a few milliseconds, right? So that is the biggest difference between high frequency traders and algorithmic traders, right? Broadly, algorithmic traders tend to be longer term, whereas high frequency traders tend to be very, very short term. They're literally talking about seconds and microseconds and milliseconds over which they hold their positions in any security for, right? So that gives you a quick overview of what technology is done to the markets, right? These are the changes. Computers are running all trading. You barely see any human intervening in any trading these days, right? So that's a quick overview. So then, of course, the question is this good or not, right? So before we get to that, I just got this nice video just to kind of give you a sense of how this high frequency trading activity is. This is just half a second of trading activity, right? So this is even lesser time than when we blink our eyes, right? We're just talking about half a second of trading activity in one stock in the US, which is the Johnson & Johnson stock. And they slowed this half a second of trading to a 6-minute video. So don't worry, I'm not going to play you the entire 6 minutes, but just imagine, right? We're just talking about half a second, and when we slow it down, just see the amount of activity, right? You see that arrows that are popping up, right? That is all the orders that are going through the system, and this is in the US, where you have almost a dozen or more trading locations, and you can see these orders going. And this is like, if you see at the middle bottom, these are 1,000th of a second, right? We're talking about 9:37 a.m. 56 seconds. And then we're just going at 1,000th of a second, right? So imagine this in half a second. All of this has happened, right? And that is faster than the blink of an eye, right? So that is what high frequency trading has done for us. It's just the magnitude of trading, the volumes of trading, the volume of orders going through the systems have increased a lot. And the reason that exchanges have been able to handle the load so far globally is just technology is improving. Speeds of processors are improving. Your loads, your RAM, everything is improving, right? And your connectivity, right? With fiber optic and cables and microwaves, the connectivity is even faster, right? And we're still not done, right? Remember, we're just gone like to about 20 thousandths of a second, right? While I've spoken, right? So this is completely slowed down. It's actually a nice video. Take a look at it, right? You can just search for NANX order routing animation J&J. You should be able to find this in YouTube. Right, so this is kind of give you a sense of what high frequency trading is all about. It's just lots and lots of orders coming through the system, right? So let me, yeah. So then the question, of course, is automated trading, all this automation and computer and technology good for trading or not, right? Are these technological changes, improvements to trading, are they creating any beneficial effect, or are they being harmful to market? Right. The way researchers in finance typically answer this question is they use what are called market quality metrics to determine if the impact is good or bad. And what market quality metrics basically tells us is what is the ease of trading? How quickly can I trade as an average trader? If I want to trade 1 share, 10 shares, 1,000 shares, 1,000,000 shares, how easily can I trade? So that is one way of one measure of market quality. Also, the second measure is what is the cost of trading? If I want to buy 1,000,000 shares, am I spending 1,000,000 rupees or am I spending 100 rupees? Right. So those are some examples of market quality measures that people look at. Right. So what largely researchers looked at in finance is once you have all these algo trading and high frequency trading and co-located servers coming in, has it improved market quality or has it worsened market quality? Right. So that is what people have looked at. And why do we care about the ease of trading? Right. One of the important aspects of finance is this idea of price efficiency. That is, do prices reflect all available information at all times? Right? If the ease of trading is very high, then your prices are going to be efficient. That is, prices are going to accurately reflect what information is out about the company, about the stock, about the macro economy. Whereas if the trading is very difficult, it's going to take me a long time to trade, then prices are going to become inefficient, right? So this is a big concern in finance. When we look at security markets, stock markets, the basic idea is price efficiency, and the price efficiency is going to be impacted by the ease of trading. And that's what people look at, what market quality measures have, how they've changed after the introduction of technology. Right. So what is a good part? I'm going to break this down into the good, the bad, and the ugly. Right. So we have again the Hendershot, Jones, and Menkweld paper from 2011 show that algo trading actually improves market quality. They find that liquidity improves on the New York Stock Exchange after it decided to automate the dissemination of quotes, which in turn resulted in the increase in algorithmic trading. Right. So they said, okay, algorithmic trading is good because market quality improves, which in turn means price efficiency is going to improve. Right. So that is one research paper. Then there's a more recent paper by Beamer, Fong, and Wu. They study the impact of algo trading across 42 equity markets around the world. They look at what is the impact of introduction of co-location services in these 42 markets. And they find that, again, algo trading improves liquidity and information efficiency of prices. Though they find one thing that is not improving is volatility. Usually volatility increasing is not a good sign. They find short-term volatility tends to increase a bit in these markets. They, of course, find the impact or the benefits of these algo trading is greater in really large stocks when compared to smaller stocks. And that is expected because there is far more amount of algo trading in larger stocks around the world than in smaller stocks. And then closer to home, a study by Agarwal and Thomas found very similar results for the Indian markets. Introducing co-located servers actually increased again, improved your market quality measure. And then there's another study by Brogard et al. Where they examine an optional speed upgrade, right? For certain traders, they were given the choice. You can pay a little more money to get a higher speed. So does the higher speed mean that they get better quality? They find again that things improve, liquidity improves, market quality improves for the entire market. When some of these traders decide to upgrade the speed, this optional speed, they just pay a little more money. What is the bad part? There's a study last year by 2 years back by Skilko and Sokolov. They examined speed differentials between fiber optic and microwave connections between New York and Chicago. So if you look at it, New York is where the primary stock market or equity markets is in the US, whereas Chicago is where all the primary derivative markets are. So there are a lot of people in the US who trade between New York and Chicago almost simultaneously, right? So there are a lot of traders sitting in New York who are trying to trade in Chicago. So they need to connect to the Chicago markets. Right? So how are they connecting? They're connecting either through microwaves or through fiber optic, and microwave is faster. It's faster by about 30% than a fiber optic cable. So what the study does is actually very cool. What they do is they're looking at days on which the microwave connection is disrupted, right? So on the day the microwave connection is working, they can trade at a much faster speed. But on the days that connection is disrupted, and that connection is going to be disrupted when there is rain or snowfall between New York and Chicago, then on those days, these traders cannot use the microwave connection. They use a fiber optic connection. So their speed decreases. So what they actually find is on the days when the speed differential is removed, that is everybody is trading fiber optic because of rain and snow. Nobody is using microwave. They actually find that it improves market quality. It improves trading costs. It improves liquidity, right? So they actually find a little bit contrary to what the previous study by Brogard said. They're saying actually this technology may not always be good. When you remove the speed, it does seem to be that liquidity improves generally for the entire market. Right? There's another study by Weller in 2018 that shows that the informative of prices, right, which is very important, but like I told you, efficiency of prices decreases with increased algorithmic trading activity, right? So again, they're saying that, hey, this is not necessarily all good news. There are some negative impacts of having technology, algorithmic trading, and high frequency trading. And then the ugly part, this is from about a little over a decade back, flash crash in the US on May 6th, 2010. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is their primary stock market index, dropped by about 600 points over just a 7-minute period. And then it regained 700 points within 40 minutes. So if you see the picture at the bottom, you can see how precipitously the prices dropped and then they rebounded very, very quickly. And detailed investigations found that there was an aggressive algorithm that sold 9% of trading volume over the previous minute, right? They traded a lot. What happened was HFTs on the other side were buying from this algorithm, and they were in turn turning around and selling whatever they were buying, right? Remember, high frequency traders hold their positions for a very short period of time. So what this created is generated increased volume. The algo started selling even more, which means the HFTs bought even more and then turned around and sold even more. So there's almost like a cascading effect which led to this precipitous price drop. But then once the market realized what is happening, there was a little bit of cooling off period and the prices rebounded pretty quickly. Right, so this is one example of where technology actually hurts. A couple of other examples is the withdrawal of BATS, which is the third largest US exchange. They did an initial public offering on March 23rd, 2012. What happened is an algo generated 567 trades in the BAT stock on the NASDAQ in 900 milliseconds, right? And the price dropped from $15.25 to a few cents in those 900 milliseconds, right? So again, this is some problem with an algo. Yet another famous example is what is called Nightmare on Wall Street. Knight Capital is an investment company. It had an algo that went haywire, and they ended up losing $10 million a minute when the market opened on August 1st, 2012. And it took them 45 minutes to realize that their algo was not doing what it was supposed to do. And in those 45 minutes, they ended up losing $440 million. Right? So that's the ugly part of technology, right? You need to be really careful about using algorithms and technology. If you don't test your algorithms sufficiently, you're going to end up losing huge amounts of money. Right? We are out of time, so I'm going to stop here. But there is you can again look this up on the on YouTube. There's this price crash, right, in 900 milliseconds for the BATS IPO. You can take a look at it. It's very nice. I mean, again, they've taken 900 milliseconds and they've expanded it to about a 3 or 4 minute video. So you can actually see how the price crashes from $15.25 to a few cents in under a second, but in a very slow motion. Right. So that kind of wraps up pretty much my speech out here. Just kind of key takeaways. Technology appears overall to be good for markets. Liquidity, market quality, it seems to improve, but it does end up generating huge volumes of trading and data. And the problem with all of this data is you need to test your algos, right? If you write algos and you don't test them rigorously, you can create problems for the market, as we've seen in some of these cases. So they have to be rigorously back tested. Exchange regulators all over the world are very concerned about these misbehaving algos that make markets unstable and markets crash very, very quickly. They've been talking about introducing regulations on potentially trying to slow down markets. But no serious steps have actually been taken in this direction globally. People are still playing a wait and watch game, trying to understand whether we should continue with these or not. Right? But that's just a quick overview of how technology has impacted the trading world. I think overall it's been good for the markets. It's improved market quality and price efficiency, though there is some research, like all types of research, people do disagree. But I think overall markets have been good. Like you see the volumes of trading, they've generally been stable. Prices these kind of crashes haven't happened very frequently. Right. So that's pretty much what my speech is. Thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a quick rush. Some of it is technical. I've tried to make sure it doesn't get too technical, but I hope you enjoyed it and kind of piques your interest to learn a little more about algo trading and high frequency trading. Wish you all the best. I hope you enjoy the conference, and thanks a lot to the organizers.
Thank you so much, sir, for providing detailed insight about technology, buzzwords, and trading. No doubt we enjoyed your session a lot. And the next step in line, which is a release of conference proceedings book. For this, I request Dr. Tajendrapal Barar, Professor and Head of Department, Computer Applications, to take over from here. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Indraprit ma'am, for inviting me for the release of conference proceeding book. Good morning to one and all present here. Moving forward, I would like to release a conference proceeding book. After passing a rigorous round of reviews by the technical committee out of 148 submissions from different countries and 15 plus states from India, 105 papers have been accepted after peer review and are considered for publication in Scopus and ABDC index journals. Reviewers from different countries contributed to the review process, and we thank them for their valuable inputs. This is a message from the Chairman, sir. I would like to express my gratitude to the Honorable Management, respected Chairman, sir, and President, sir, for their never-ending support. This is an inspirational message from the Honorable Chairman, sir. Next is a message from the President, sir, Rashpal Singh Taliwal ji. Next is a message from the campus director, Dr. P.N. Rishikesh ji. I would like to thank sir for always being a source of inspiration. I would especially like to mention here that we are happy that we are collaborated with Dana University Malaysia. Many thanks to the Professor Dato Dr. Muhammad Farooq bin Abdullah, Vice Chancellor of Dana University Malaysia, though he was not able to join us due to his busy schedule. And we are extremely thankful to the keynote speakers and all the guests of honors for sparing their valuable time and sharing their thoughts. Next is our organizing committee. Members of organizing committee worked tirelessly on this conference from the past 3 months. This is our advisory committee. Members of advisory committee provided us with the many valuable suggestions. And this is a list of accepted papers according to the track wise, as already shared by Indraprit ma'am. We are having 6 different tracks. First track is all about the new trends in innovations in ICT. Second track is based on advances in AI and machine learning, deep learning, and cognitive computing. Track 3 is all about recent emerging trends in Internet of Things. While track 4 is about advances in communication systems and network security. Track 5 is based on recent advancements in domain of marketing, HR, finance, and operations management. While track 6 is based on recent advances in sustainable practices, social innovations, and entrepreneurship. And these are the detailed abstracts that have been selected. Out of 148 total submissions, 105 abstracts has been accepted for this conference.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, over to you, ma'am.
Now we move forward to our next guest of honor, Dr. Rohit Dhan. Mr. Rohit Dhan has been in the tech space for more than 2 decades. He headed the division of IT as an additional dean at Lovely Professional University, India, for the development of indigenous award-winning ERP products. His meticulous efforts led to the establishment of Venture Pact to provide technology support to the startup ideas emerging from Wharton School of Business, MIT, and Stanford. Currently, he's working as an assistant director at Ernst & Young Vancouver, Canada. He has helped in planning and designing enterprise-class applications and software for companies like TransCanada, 7-Eleven, Disney, Bombardier, etc., using best practices on big data, cloud, artificial intelligence, and serverless technologies. Now, I would like to call upon Mr. Rohit to address the audience. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Inderpreet. A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone across the globe. And a very special thanks to Chandigarh Group of Colleges for inviting me and having me on with this conference. Inderpreet, just to correct on, I'm not a doctor, so I don't have a PhD. I did start off, but I was never able to complete it. So that's just one correction, but yes, rest all the other things are all right. Thank you, Inderpreet, for that. And let me share my screen, and we'll go through a small presentation which I've created for everyone. And I think so a lot of people attending out over here might have heard about the metaverse. It's something, a buzzword people have been hearing. A company which everyone follows, Facebook, we use its product. They have changed their name to Meta. So something which EVA is also kind of investing some time and doing some research work on that. And I thought it's a great opportunity. Why not to present Metaverse onto here? Before we really talk about Metaverse, I just want to talk about technology, and from a very different perspective I'm coming through. Initially, we have been saying technology is an aid that support business houses. Yeah, it has been very true, and still it works true, but now it is the other way around. Technology is now revolutionizing and kind of transforming the business itself. So entrepreneurs, those who are thinking about ideas or anything, they firstly think about the technology and then they think about the idea, how it can be actually achieved. So actually, if you are not, the rule is very simple. If you don't embrace technology or the changing technology, it will just render you irrelevant. That's the simplest thing which I can tell to my students or all the people whom I interact with. So you must need to embrace the technology. And what we have been doing with technology now, like before Metaverse or something comes around. So we have been engaging in different modes, like through mobile PCs or laptop screens or anything. So the first one was the text messages, then came the videos, and then we have emojis. And then now people are suddenly moving on to TikToks. Like everyone is going on to TikTok, have a TikTok video, do something, and then kind of do it for a funny thing or like for a business, or even people don't know what they're doing with TikTok, but everyone is on TikTok. But now moving forward, what comes is the metaverse. That is the next one. And here is a 2 minutes video. This is actually from Meta, the company itself, who is actually investing a lot of money into that. I'm not sure whether the sound is there or not, but this exactly demonstrates what metaverse would look like. What we are going to see in this is the next gen of internet or social or any kind of an activity. What you're doing right now would be in a different sense. It would be something like kind of a universe, a very augmented universe where you can interact, feel, or do anything. So I'm just going to play this video. This is around less than 2 minutes, but I do want to present that video. Yes, so this is exactly the vision of Meta, what they want to really produce with the next generation of internet, the social environment, whatever we live in. And the metaverse, the next gen internet is not about like only seeing the screens or laptops or TikToks. It's not about the snapping fingers. It's rather feeling about it. It's like you are actually there. You can touch it. You can sense it. You can actually feel it. You can actually like even with the use of your gesture send a message. So exactly, it's a kind of a virtual stuff. The vision of the Meta company for this kind of a metaverse is they call it as a living, shared, everlasting, and a virtual universe. That's what they are calling it. And why they are calling, because we are actually into that environment. We are not exactly looking at the screen. We are sharing some space. I might be sharing my home with someone. I'm actually like communicating. I'm actually playing a chess game with someone on a street or anything. I can, it's just like sky's the limit for what you can exactly do out. And the Meta is so much important for the next generation, as even the Facebook company changed their name to Meta. Everybody knows about it. They exactly did a full-fledged video, and this video was in fact a part of that whole process. So what does this exactly like? It's technically an immersive experience where we can get together, we can play, we can shop, we can do so many activities. And how it is exactly going to be achieved is, it is going to be achieved with the help of a lethal combo of virtual reality as well as augmented reality. And Metaverse, like the Meta company, is exactly working on one of the augmented reality and a headset, which can be used to experience that. Whether it is chatting, meditating, buying property, sky's the limit. Whatever you think about it, it is going to be there. And people say, hey, we are leaving Facebook, we don't really want to go on. No, you will not be able to leave, so because your friends, your productivity, your social life, everything will be on Meta. It would be dependent upon that. You cannot go without it. Even the companies are going to use this for their productivity. So what are the benefits of metaverse? Like, that's one thing. So like with the metaverse, you can like play games. The other day you can play chess game on a busy street, whatever you want to do. You can express yourself the way you want. So for example, in current Facebook, what we do is we have a profile pic, we have like a profile picture with some message. Over here we have a complete 3D avatar, a fully 3D avatar which we can use, and it's a living avatar. Okay, so you have the flexibility of like being taller, having larger eyes. You can be a different creature if you want. You can be a different gender if you want, or even belong to any race, whatever you want to do. So it's all about your expressions, how the way you want to represent it. And unfortunately, if somebody is disabled, you can even have the capacity to fly, right? You can actually experience flying, like how it exactly works around, because you are not seeing a screen, you are virtually there as an immersive experience. You can actually see that. You can have a teleportation, like somebody is attending a conference out there in India. Let's say I'm in Canada, I can actually be teleported, right? So I can actually go into that environment and I can enjoy with them. I can see what is happening. I can see that conference, and it can be like right now I'm just like all the participants, we are through the Zoom meeting. So just imagine if we can be sitting in one room where we can touch each other, we can talk to just like we are talking physically to each other. That's kind of the benefits what we are going to get. And one of the beautiful things which I like is set up a home workspace. So I set up a home workspace with the looks which I want, and I can invite anyone, like all the panelists out there, I can invite for a dinner, and only on the click of a button. You don't have to do anything else or nothing. That's the flexibility the metaverse would give to us. And yes, what other benefits? Like time traveling will be another. You can imagine living with a dinosaur. I can actually see a dinosaur, touch a dinosaur. I can live with it. Googling information would be like an old way. You don't have to like Google the information. The screenshots what I have attached it, they are the actual, like you have an object, you can touch them, you can feel them. Like you can do a surgery, like and practice a surgery, actually like how it looks like, how you cut it, how you see the organs, or so many things. And one of the other things which what I really like about is your input. Right now is all about keyboards or mouses or anything, but over here, writing, touching, gestures, and even by thinking, Meta is actually investing onto capturing your thought processes so that they can capture your thoughts and convert it into some kind of a writing by just like maneuvering your thought actions and anything. And if like I'm just going to send a message by just thinking about moving my fingers, and the message can be sent. I don't need a physical keyboard out there. Of course, you can have that. And of course, you can have virtual homes. You can set their appearances, their attributes, and you can have like a whole economy, like running sellers can be there with different type of experiences, trying clothes. You can touch those clothes, smell them out. And it's like a cryptocurrency would be one thing which would be used. Right now, we hear about cryptocurrency, we like hear about news, positive, negative, but it is something that is going to be more heavily invested with metaverse. So these are the few benefits which probably I foresee. These are all conceptual right now, but yes, they are working on it. And probably next year, you're going to have the first handset from the Meta company to experience these two things. So the issues, everything comes with certain issues also, and we do need to touch on those issues. Data. So data is always an issue. Companies have been asked like how they are keeping up with our data. The privacy is messed up. They are actually reading your brain activity and translating your thoughts into action. So what you can even think about your privacy right now, right? The privacy is messed up. And we are definitely going to lose touch field or real world things, right? So sometimes we don't want, because we're seeing a very virtual world. So we might imagine that homeless people don't really exist, and then everything is very, very easy and good, and it's all blossoming, right? But there are a few things which are still negative out there in the society, which probably we will not. And it's a threat to the society we live in, because all the physical touch, the physical connections, everything would go away. You won't even like go and meet anyone. If I want to meet, let's say, Dr. Tejinder Pal, I'm not going to meet him directly. I'm not even going to call him out. I'm just going to ask him, invite him on a cup of coffee in the metaverse, in the universe that's like very virtual in nature. And then very lastly, when you leave metaverse, you directly come back to the reality where you are and what you are. So you might be taller, might be having a bigger nose, or like belonging to a different generation in the metaverse. But when you actually come onto the reality, it is something very, very different. So yes, these are all the issues which are there. But yes, everything comes with pros and cons. And I do believe this is one thing which every company is investing, not only Meta, all the foreign companies out there, Microsoft, Google, all the big companies, they are heavily investing into this. Even Intel has committed a lot of like their own production of their Intel processors into the metaverse, something like that. So, but this is very exciting to come along. And I think this is what we are going to see. Probably our next generation or the next generation would be getting into all this virtual world, fortunately or unfortunately. Yep, I don't want to take much of your time. Wanted to keep it very simple, light, and then what we can relate it. Thank you all for having me and giving me this opportunity to present it. And in case you have any questions, you have my emails or anything, please do let me know. Thank you. Thank you, Inderpreet. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for providing detailed insight about Metaverse. Now, I request to all the guest speakers to turn on your cameras from the group picture, for the group picture. Yes, I request all the guest speakers.
Mr. Rohit, can we request you to stop sharing the screen so that we take a quick picture?
Dr. Riddhi Rawler, could you please turn on your camera, ma'am? Now, we move forward to our next guest of honor, Dr. Randir Aulak. Dr. Randir Aulak is head of School of Organizations, Economy and Society at the University of Westminster, London. Earlier, she was associate head of School of Enterprise and Innovation at Coventry University, where she led the school's executive development and CBD programs and collaborations. She has many features in she has many feathers in her cap as she has handled a wide variety of national and international projects. Besides working in the local government of Coventry and Southwark as a quality social worker, having specialization in child protection and family work, she's also worked with the homeless in Swansea in the voluntary sector. She's also a magistrate on the board of Coventry Relate, which is a counseling service and central academic trust for schools. Dr. Rantir Aulak is also vice chair of the board of Coventry Refugee and Migrant Center. So now I would like to Dr. Rantir Aulak to address the audience in attendance. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Inderpreet, for your lovely welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's early morning where I am. So if you see the bags under my eyes, it's because I sort of came online at 3 in the morning, but very excited to be here with you. And I've been so fascinated by all the wonderful ideas that speakers have shared so far. And in thinking about what could I possibly add to the mix, I thought perhaps a place to start would be thinking about the various roles that I have, particularly in terms of the political leadership role I have in the local city, thinking about public services more broadly. That's what I thought I'd use as a reference point. So just in the few minutes that we have, I'm just going to share with you a few thoughts, particularly around the kinds of issues, themes and challenges that we are working with, particularly in terms of the sector that I work with. So, right. Okay. So, in a nutshell, what would my key message be? And this is from the perspective of somebody who's not a technology expert, but a consumer of technology and a decision maker about how we take all the benefits around technological innovation and harness those for the benefit of particularly our citizens. What would my key message be? That from my perspective, it has to be, and it is, more than just whizzy technology. From my perspective, particularly in terms of, if you like, a stakeholder, consumer, user, decision maker around technological innovation, it's really an opportunity for us to think more fundamentally about the opportunities as well as the challenge, as well as the so what, in terms of all the technological advancements that are happening around us, and indeed all the amazing things that we've heard about today. And part of like an ongoing question for us is there a better way in terms of making best use of all the technologies that are available to us, so that citizens and the businesses that we support engage in ways that are more convenient for them, more effective for them, with systems that they trust and find easy to use and are cost effective. And again, if I had a virtual highlighter, I would highlight that word trust in terms of the technologies that are available. And the second key part of my message is around the importance of taking people with you. So part of this is from the perspective of a business and your employees. And part of it is in terms of thinking about consumers, users of your services, and citizen expectations around what is on offer and how it makes their lives better. So certainly when we're thinking about, as particularly in a political leadership role, and I think that's an important part of the consideration, is really thinking about what type of service we're providing, how it works in terms of user engagement, and what the real value is in terms of the end user. So lots of thought around the systems that we're putting into place around usability, functionality, user experience, and thinking about the outcomes. What I wanted to do was to share with you very briefly about some of the ways in which technological development has been impacting us in public services, in the public service sector. And it really has transformed the way in which we have been delivering services. Everything from online payment for services, from business rates, council tax, to information about the services, including schools and education and licensing. And a key change or a positive development has been very much around greater levels of transparency around governance and accountability. And if I can just share that with you. So one of the big benefits of technological development has been around the openness of committee meetings, so that citizens can now see and observe how decisions are made, decisions that affect their everyday lives. And what we have found is that this is helping in a very positive and constructive way in terms of dismantling some of the barriers in terms of citizen participation, public participation, in terms of the decision-making processes. And so certainly a big benefit has been around greater transparency, greater accountability, and greater openness in terms of how decisions are made. And certainly we've seen enormous benefits around that. And again, a big benefit has been that certainly in our city, it's provided an opportunity for us to fundamentally think about not just how we're providing services, but the services that we're providing. And that's been really beneficial. And again, in the interest of time, just to pick up on a couple of challenges. So accessibility is a big challenge for us. And this is including in terms of which communities have access, which communities don't have access. And one of the challenges that we're grappling with is around this notion of digital poverty. We're making assumptions that everybody's on the same playing field, and actually in our experience that is not the case. So as well as supporting lots of brilliant developments and engaging with technological advancements, one of the things that we're really having to think about is how equal that access is for various communities. And digital inclusion, digital poverty is high on our strategic agenda. And just as a tiny example, if you come onto our website, that you'll see that we've done lots of work around accessing information and services, including in Punjabi. I hope that's Punjabi. Apologies, I can't read Punjabi myself, but so that you can click on a button and get that information in a variety of languages, audio and written script. And again, we're finding that is really helping in terms of improving services. Now, you might say, why Punjabi in particular? Because where I live in our city, there is a very large community from India. So we've got languages around Hindi and Punjabi available as well. The other challenge that we're facing, and again, we've been doing a lot of work around smart meters, smart vehicles, driverless vehicles, smart parking, and certainly as a policy maker, I really support all these brilliant innovations, and alongside that, have an eye on what is the end user experience and what happens when there are glitches. And sometimes in terms of conversations with the technologists, you find masses of amounts of enthusiasm around the innovations that they're putting together. And part of my remit is to say, okay, we must remember to think about the end user and how we deal with any glitches. So as a quick example, so what we're finding in our city is that when you pull up into a parking space, you pay online. That makes certain assumptions that everybody's going to have a smartphone, that everybody's going to be able to use it, that everybody's going to find that as a flawless, seamless transaction, and that isn't always the case. So as well as accessibility, the other ongoing themes that run in terms of our decision makings around capability and sustainability. So very much looking at when we are bringing in new innovative systems, what that means for the employees and our citizens, and how we can take innovative developments and build them into longer term sustainable practice. And on the sustainability theme, and I know a number of speakers have commented on this, what we're finding is that there's continued anxiety around data security and data sharing. And this is why I was saying, if I had a virtual highlighter, I would highlight the word trust. And so we have to put in a lot of work around reassurance for users and citizens around how their data is used, particularly around health data. And so that there is wider spread confidence that data is going to be treated safely, securely, ethically, and appropriately. The other big theme for us is around affordability. So yes, there's lots of fabulous technology around, and part of the decisions that we are obliged to make in a very responsible way in terms of our city is around the level of investment and the value and the return that we get from it. And part of that is in terms of thinking about budgets and investment decisions. And so that remains at the forefront of our mind. And alongside that is the question around sustainability of that level of investment, and thoughts around obsolescence, the shelf life of a particular technological innovation. So before I wrap up, part of what I would say is important is for us to really be thinking about what we're doing in terms of transforming our services. And is it just conversion, or is it genuine transformation? Conversion is like taking data and just putting it online, or is it actually reforming, changing, transforming how we deliver services? And simple example there is in terms of cars. So we in our city are doing a lot of investment in terms of electric vehicles, alternative energy solutions. And part of that challenge is have we gone far enough, or is this the opportunity where we can actually break that mold and think more imaginatively in terms of alternative energy solutions? Okay, so as a concluding point, I would say it's important to think about technology, innovation, and the relationship between technology and sound business practice, and that sustainability and longevity question, and the importance of technology and sound people management as well. And part of what we have experienced is the importance of thinking about culture change and changes in terms of sustainable business practice. So I shall leave it there in the interest of time and wish you well with the remainder of the conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Randhir ma'am, for sharing your inputs. Now, our next guest of honor is Dr. Surbhi Bhatia. She is doctorate in computer science and engineering from Banasthali University 2018 in the area of machine learning and social media analytics. She has more than 10 years of teaching experience in different universities from India and Saudi Arabia. She is currently working in the Department of Information Systems, College of Computer Sciences and Information Technology, King Faisal University, Saudi Arabia. She is also the adjunct professor of Shilluni University, Himachal Pradesh, India. She is associate editor of the reputed HCIS journal, editorial board member with Indus Science publisher in the International Journal of Hybrid Intelligence and in SN Applied Sciences, Springer. She has so much literary to her credit, including research papers, patents, book publications. She is currently serving as a guest editor of special issue in reputed journals of Springer, Materials, and Continua, Internet of Things, Hyundai, and Bentham Science, etc. She has delivered talks as keynote speaker in IEEE conference and in faculty development programs. She has been selected in the prestigious Best Young National Award by IRDP, a group of journals in India. She has completed 5 projects from Ministry of Education, Saudi Arabia, and Deanship of Scientific Research in Saudi Arabia. Her research of interest is data mining, machine learning, sentiment analysis, natural language processing, and data analytics. Now, I would like to call Surbhi Bhatia ma'am to kindly address the audience, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Ms. Inderpreet, and I would thank the Chandigarh College for inviting me as a resource person. Uh, so for this conference, the important multidisciplinary area, it is in which there are different advanced computational techniques joined with some kind of engineering systems approaches in order to develop the systems, applications, services for giving some real-time awareness for the real-time systems. And I think this is the main aim for fulfilling the needs of the society. So different applications fall under the umbrella, which includes businesses, healthcare, energy, transportation, some other industrial systems, and information retrieval. So I am pleased to give my talk on this very important aspect with respect to the theme of the conference on smart computing technologies and business management. The topic of my presentation is information retrieval using opinion mining. So due to the advancement of web and availability of internet, considerable attention has been given to the web sources all over the world, and they serve as an innovative and attractive source of medium for representing the information, in the form of webs, in the form of opinions, in the form of blogs. So this has become the interest of the whole globe, and social media and these review sites, they are the most important source, and they are the most inexpensive source of market intelligence, which can be used by the people for directing some kind of market opportunities and business opportunities. So users are really motivated. This has become an addiction and a trend to being online, and users are really motivated for these kind of online shopping because of immensely cheaper availability of opinions, which are considered as a wealth. So earlier, if we focus, it was all based on traditional, and it was all based on feedback based research. And people used to tend or buy their products, sell their products on the based of conducting some kind of surveys, some conducting on the focus groups, taking opinions from the friends or the family. But now it's not just restricted to the circle of friends or the groups, but it has been spread globally, worldwide on the social media. So opinions, these are considered as subjective sentences as they reflect the people's sentiments, and internet is a huge resource where daily 45,000 blogs are created daily, and so many active Facebook, Instagram users who are ready to post the comments and give their feedback on different entities. Human actions, they have a very vital impact on the opinions. Why? Because it not only helps in improving their business by seeing some kind of critics, also it helps in different decision making process, whether it's taken by the marketers, whether it's taken by the consumers, by the producers, or by the government policy makers. So it has been globally spread to the blogs, posts, tweets, and different social networking sites. So this trend has actually increased the number of users on the internet. So let's talk about what is opinion mining and why it is growing day by day. So opinion mining, it's a multidisciplinary area. It lies at the intersection of NLP, of modern techniques on knowledge discovery, data mining, and it's a subjective approach that can be taken as a technique for extracting the opinions or extracting some kind of knowledge automatically by taking these opinions from social media, the different review sites on some kind of specific topic. So previously, if we see that on the internet, if somebody wants to find out the facts or the opinions as a summarized form on the basis of some aspects, it is very difficult that Google is going to give me. Rather, it gives us number of web pages. So if we are looking for a summarized opinion on the basis of some aspects, then it is very, very difficult to find it directly on the internet. Rather, we need to search, we need to harvest the knowledge out of it. So if we develop such kind of system for the society, it is going to help in directly viewing the opinions, help us in getting the business opportunities, is going to reduce the efforts and the time, and overall compressive compilation of reviews can be given to us. So there are a number of research gaps in this, that there is no conceptualized or no coherent structure for mining opinions. So these mining opinions actually fall under four main broad areas, which are retrieval, that is information extraction or retrieval. Second is to identify the aspects or to identify the features, the main theme. Coming to the sentiment analysis, which we already all know about this topic, that is dividing the opinions into some kind of positive, negative, or neutral views. And then finally, summarizing the opinions in the form of a coherent summary without any redundancy into it. So there are many limitations which can be seen in the earlier existing systems, like they simply parse the HTML code and there is no crawling mechanism, because web pages, they're dynamic. They're getting updated every second, every minute. So we need to get the fresh and the relevant opinions as per our need, as per the interest of the users. So there has to be some crawling mechanism in the system that is going to fetch the relevant and the fresh opinions by calculating the dynamic priority of these websites. Even for finding out the features, we generally consider the nouns. Previous researchers have shown that the nouns and their closest adjective has been taken as a noun adjective pair for finding out the entities. There have been numerous researches on doing the classification, and the traditional state-of-the-art machine learning algorithms like naive Bayes, like SVM. These have been used for classifying the opinions into different categories and for giving this the summary. There is a lot of duplicacy, there is a lot of redundancy which can be observed in the summary, which should not be there in the overall system. So these are the general steps which we need to follow in order to develop the overall opinion mining system, which says as extracting the right opinions from the different social networking sources such as webs, blogs, or Facebook, Amazon, Twitter, Instagram, and so on. Opinion detection is to get the right opinion depending on the trust, removing the fake opinions. And aspect detection or aspect identification means extracting the opinion theme word pair. Next, we have considering the polarity of the words. We need to find out the opinions and classify them into different categories. Finally, getting the overall summary of the opinions in the form of removing redundancy, in the form of building cohesion, and in the form of giving us an overall compilation views. So if we look at the textual information, these are the two forms in which it is divided. We have facts and we have opinions. Facts, they hold an element of truth, but opinions, they cannot be verified, right? They have we cannot verify by its element of belief. So if we look at the opinion, it has different components like the target, whom we are talking about, the main theme, the sentiment value. Is it reflecting the person's or the entity positive value or the negative value? We have some kind of holder who is talking about that opinion, and the time is very important to know the time or in the form of some format when it was posted on the social media. So it's the field of study that is going to analyze the people's opinions and towards some entities or products or services or organizations or some kind of topics and their attributes. The different opinion mining tasks that are given at several levels. We have the document level, we have sentence level, and we have the phrase level or the aspect level. So not talking much about it, I just want to talk more about the information retrieval process. So just switching over to that. So we have applications where this is used when we are purchasing some kind of product or service. This helps us in finding out the critics or the views to actually improve the productivity. We have quality improvement in product or services. So manufacturers generally take the critics' opinion and try to improve that. Marketing research, recent trend of customers can be analyzed, and recommendation systems, they can give the recommendations based on the interest of the users. Detection of flame is monitoring of some news groups and the forums that can detect some kind of arrogant words. Policy making and decision making reflects that citizens' point of view is taken and government can make policy according to that. So it mainly focuses on the three main tasks, which is aspect identification, classification, and summarization. This is the overall system that the user is posting a query using the UI, and that query is going to the process for extracting the opinions, which needs to be involved with the crawling mechanism in order to calculate the dynamic priority of the URLs, which are given initially as the seed URLs. Moving further towards cleaning operations, because your data, which has been extracted from the web, it's semi-structured data. It's not, you need to do some kind of cleaning operations such as stemming, normalization, lemming, lemmatization, stop word removal in order to make the data prepared for your further modeling. So then comes to the 3 modules, which is identification of the opinions, that the right opinions with respect to the theme has on which the user has posted, or the interest of the user has been collected. Then comes to considering the polarity of the opinions, and finally we are getting the summarized opinions, which is given back from the user interface to the user. So these are the 4 modules which says, I'm just going to give a brief overview as we are already exceeding the time. So the seed URLs are given in the opinion retrieval module in order to extract the relevant and the fresh reviews. The identification is going to check whether the content is as per the need and interest of the users, and right features are extracted. Again, the previous researchers gave a lot of opinion word pairs, but they were mainly considering like the good battery. So the adjective is the good and battery is the noun, which is generally extracted. So instead of just using the same, the novelty lies in getting some kind of grammar dependency rules, and based on the rule-based methodology, there are different 47 rules defined in the Stanford library. So filtering those 47 rules and making our own hybrid form of rules into it would give us the better opinion word pair which we are looking for. Next comes to the classification, which can be done on the different deep learning algorithms, as the availability of data is huge. So if we are moving towards a good amount of data, then deep learning algorithms give better accuracy than the machine learning algorithms in some cases. So the CNN algorithm is used, which is convolutional neural network. Finally, checking the accuracy of the different classifiers, comparing it with the machine learning classifiers and the deep learning classifiers, giving the final opinion summarization. So there are different summarization techniques available. This research is focused on mainly the abstractive and the extractive summary. Abstractive summary is based on the graphs technique, but the extractive is based on reducing the dimensions from the data set, which is done through PCA, which is principal component analysis. Finally, the evaluation of both the summaries has been done using a tool, which is a Java-based tool, and the calculation of this rogue scores has been done. So different data sets can be used for the researchers, which are openly available, like MDS, like movie review data set, OpenOSS data set. And these 3 different data sets have been experimented apart from the recent reviews that have been extracted from our system. So just focusing on this information extraction, which is opinion retriever, and it's going to extract the opinions from the dynamically generated web pages, and by calculating the dynamic priority of the seed URLs. So there are different limitations on the previously extracted systems, that maintenance cost was very high, complexity, retraining of the sites were difficult. So our my proposed system works on novel algorithms, which gives us the relevant and the fresh opinions by passing through all these 6 modules listed here as a fetcher, tracker, downloader, repository, and the update module. So this is the overall architecture of opinion retrieval system, wherein the update module, if you can see here, which is taking the best of the use of calculating the dynamic priority using some algorithm and using some formula, and those URLs which are having the best, the higher score, they are passed into the URL-based database, which have been mostly the reviews have been uploaded on those seed URLs. They have given the priority, and again the process goes on repeating till we get a sufficient number of opinions stored in our opinion repository. So this is all about my talk, and I hope you liked it. There is a book also published by this topic on information retrieval, opinion mining. If you have any questions, my email ID can be shared, and you are most welcome to ask any questions from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ruby ma'am, for providing detailed description on opinion mining. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Tejendrapal Brad, Professor and Head Computer Applications, to extend a vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. On the behalf of Department of Computer Applications, Chandigarh Business School of Administration, CGC Landran, I express my gratitude to the Honorable Management for their never-ending support. I would like to thank Campus Director, Dr. P.N. Rishikesha, for always being a source of guidance and inspiration. This conference would not be possible without the advice and suggestions given by the Director Principal, Dr. Ramandeep Saini. We are here to provide. We are happy that we are happy that we collaborated with PU Malaysia. Many thanks to the keynote speakers and guest of honors from Pradana University and the entire team for coordinating us, specifically Mr. Randeep Singh Sidhu, Marketing Communication, Business Development and Corporate Communication Manager at Pradana University. We are extremely honored to all the guest of honors for sparing their valuable time and sharing their thoughts. I would like to extend my thanks to the chairpersons who accepted our invitation to chair the conference sessions. To all the participants and authors, this conference would not be possible without contribution and submitting good quality research articles. Last but not the least, I would like to thank the entire organizing committee from the CBSA, branding team, digital marketing team, IT team, and support staff who worked day and night from the last 3 months for organizing this conference. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. We shall gather here for the valedictory session to be held tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. So I request all of you to please ensure that everyone logs in well in time for the valedictory session tomorrow. Now, all the participants are requested to join their respective tracks to their sessions. I thank everyone, including our audience, for today's session who have been a part of this session. Thank you. Thanks a lot.